What's going down, man? Oh, right. What's up, dude?
What's up?
Yeah, we're live right now. I already got this. I got the stream set up here.
Sweet.
Yeah. All right, let's get right to it. All right, welcome to Rock Vegas, everybody. This is Glen Rockney. I'm with Matt Fallon. Did a solo episode earlier in the week, but that was just a somber, sad. I mean, this one might be sad too because the Raiders refuse to act normal. They refuse to be a normal franchise, even though they're winning, number 2 seed in the AFC. They sure aren't acting like it off the field. Matt, your thoughts on everything that's gone down this week?
Yeah, I don't know, man. The Henry Ruggs thing, it took me a while to kind of want to talk football again.
It hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I got like the video sent to me from somebody like at like 7:30 a.m. that day.
Yeah, you broke the story.
Yeah, I didn't really want to. I like when I posted it, I was like, you know what? I was like, I don't want this to come out, and then like the girl's family sees her car, and they're like, oh, like she's dead. You know, like I didn't want that to be like my thing. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I didn't mind that like other people got that story. It's not something that I really cared to be like,
no.
You know what I mean? And I think like for me, it's like because I liked the guy and I liked the player, I bought my wife a Henry Ruggs jersey. You know, it just humanizes the sport a lot more. Like, I mean, I've made mistakes. I've, went out and drank and drove, and I feel like crap for a week after, and like not, when I was younger, because whether I think so or not, I'm 7 years older than most of these guys. It's getting there.
Yeah.
And
we don't have as much money as they do. They have money. They have all this shit, and it's like, I will say, like, I don't know if I would have done. I don't know if I could ever drive 156 miles an hour, but I know I would have got that hammered for sure. Absolutely, I have been that.
But I couldn't if I'm like when in the past, like when I have made mistakes, it's like you drink and drive, you're like paranoid driving home.
Absolutely,
you're not going 160 miles an hour. Now, the human aspect of it humanizes the sport, and you realize that these guys are 22 years old. They were dropped in Las Vegas with millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have anything to do with Vegas. Like, I've heard that term come from people. I mean, Ruggs was coming from Top.
Yeah, let's talk about that. The Vegas thing. It pisses me the fuck off. That's what literally everybody of every fan base says. I'm like, dude, so what was your excuse for Jamarcus Russell doing all his shit? Was that because of Vegas? No, we were in Oakland. He was just doing that. What about Rolando McClain? Rolando McClain shooting off a gunshot next to somebody's ear on the bye week.
What about Aaron Hernandez?
Yeah, Aaron Hernandez.
He's in New England.
You can get shit hammered and drive drunk literally anywhere. You can do that anywhere, in any state. Florida, it happens all the time. I mean, yeah, Vegas, the bars don't shut down. I understand that. Maybe the fact that like Henry Ruggs could have got cut off at 2 a.m. in a normal spot, but those guys don't really get cut off at 2 a.m. We do. We get cut off at 2 a.m. Those guys can get fucked up however they want.
I think but this did humanize the sport a little bit, and I think like it's been a tragic chain of events for the Raiders. Like, it started in the offseason, and people were like, you know what? It's just the upper, front office people. That doesn't have anything to do with the field, blah, 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 blah. You started to see signs that the organization isn't run well. And we've known that. From a football perspective, we've known that. But then you get to the thing where it's like, okay, John Gruden has all those emails come out. Okay, so like John Gruden is maybe not what he says he is. So then, okay, whatever, we can get over that. You can rally around that. You're going to go on the football field. You're going to rally around John Gruden, right? Hey, we're still a team. We don't need the coach, blah, blah, blah. They're not going to rally around this on Sunday. You don't get in a huddle and say, you know what, dude, vehicular manslaughter on 3. Like, you just don't do it. So like, it's not like one of those things that like I hear people saying, the team's going to rally around this. And it's like, it's somber, man. Those guys are all friends with him. Like, but
I don't know that I agree necessarily with that. I don't think it's that big of a factor to them, honestly. I think the Gruden thing was a lot worse, only because Henry Ruggs didn't die. They didn't lose their friend. He's alive. They could text Henry Ruggs right now. He's not in jail. They could text him. They could be like, hey, Henry.
I mean, I guess they could text Gruden too.
But... Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, no, but the Gruden thing was, I mean, when after Gruden got fired, they played better. But I'm saying that week where like all those emails were coming out, the team looked sluggish, right? Because they were like, man, we still got this fucking losers. Or you know what I mean? They have that, and they were sluggish. Now with Henry Ruggs, like it sucks. Don't get me wrong, like it sucks for these guys, but like I mean, to be fair, I think the one thing that might hurt them is maybe just being in the spotlight for negative things. I think that might hurt them a little bit more so than I'm not saying that they're not friends with this guy. He seemed like a guy that everybody was really good friends with. He seemed like a pretty positive guy. Now, you know, the Arnett thing, what the fuck is that? That's the thing I'm wondering. Like, get this guy off my team, because the thing I have a problem with the way this team drafts is because they reach on guys, right? This is the mission statement of this podcast. They reach on guys, but then they're like, oh yeah, but here's the thing, this guy loves football and he's a character guy. Okay, Damon Arnett's clearly not a character guy. He has guns out on Instagram Live or Snapchat.
They say that they're high character guys, and that was my next point. Is you have a culture problem there. It's you know, like you have guys that are supposedly supposed to be these team leaders, and these culture guys that are supposedly like foundational pieces, is what Mike Mayock quoted. And you know, like that's something we can debate in the off season, whether Mayock was, you know, Mayock was involved in these picks or not. The Raider Nation for Lifer move right now is to blame Gruden for the bad picks and praise Mayock for the good picks. And that's kind of where
you can't do that. Yeah,
that's where the fan base lies right now. And in my opinion, it's either all Gruden, or it's both. It's not
that they're going off that 51%, 49% quote, which was complete bullshit.
Yeah, but like you look at it like this, man. Like, I mean, look at it like if Donald Trump gets 51% of the vote and Hillary gets 49% of the vote, Trump's president. Not necessarily. That's terrible because the electoral college, but you know what I mean. It's like you know, one person has like there's you know.
If I have any kind of majority over the person I'm talking to,
right? So like,
I can veto anything you say. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Got the last say.
Yeah, even Mike Mayock has said that too in the past. Like this is Gruden's team. I remember when things were going well, quote unquote. He said, "I thought my theory is that Mike Mayock was a scout. Mike Mayock was a scout. He was a scout that said he was like the head of scouting. Was like, hey John, I like this guy, and John's like, hey, thank you for your input, Mike. I'm going this way. Sometimes they might have agreed on a couple picks. I think they did agree on a couple picks. I don't think it was constant headbutting, but I do think he got overridden a few times. And we're gonna, like you said, we're gonna see whether that happened or not. But the fact of the matter is, if you draft character guys, they need to be captains of the team. Cleveland Ferrell, not a captain of the team. Damon Arnett shouldn't be the captain of anything. And Henry Ruggs, no. I'm not going to say Henry Ruggs is it's tough for me to say he's a good person because that's a lot of bad mistakes. It's not just one mistake that he made. I hate when people say, oh, he made one bad mistake. No, he made like
and
seven bad.
It doesn't sound like this is the first time.
He made like seven bad mistakes in one night too. Like it's like
people act like, you know what? He went out and made a mistake, right?
Yeah. No, that's a DUI, a regular DUI.
This was not the first time Henry Ruggs got hammered and drove 140 miles an hour.
Not at all.
It's not. So the fact is, nobody knows. And like that's what pisses me off is I got people, you know, before they cut him and before we knew he was going to jail, my mentions were a dumpster fire.
Oh yeah.
I had people telling me I'm attacking Ruggs' character. I didn't drive the car.
No.
I have people telling me that, you know, he's a good person. You don't know Henry Ruggs.
No.
You don't know him. There's no and then I said, you know, and maybe I could have not done that, but I was like, you know what, he does all this stuff for his friend that died in a car accident, and then he goes out and does this shit, right? And I got fucking reamed, dude. Every single person that is followed by Henry Ruggs on Twitter sent me a DM or a mention and was like, don't you bring up, you know, the dead. Well, you know what? He killed the person. I didn't.
Yeah. I mean, straight up.
You know who brought up his friend? Nobody would know about it if Henry Ruggs didn't bring up his friend.
Yeah. And like, you know, I'm not saying that, like, maybe the guy just has a drinking problem too. Like, there's also that, like, he could just have it.
Yeah. Like which is a bigger problem because it's not the first guy in the Raiders organization to have a drinking problem.
Facts.
Last year, Crosby going out and partying every night and then going to practice, and you could see it on the field. He didn't produce like he did his rookie season. Yeah. Then Henry Ruggs, right? Like Henry Ruggs has had a decent, I would say, an okay year this year. Like I think he had a chance to be a Pro Bowler this year. I really think he was trending in the right direction. Okay. But if you're out drinking every single night, then you know, you're not going to get to that point. And that's kind of where I'm concerned is these guys are coming in with the Raiders and you have, so they blamed it all on Lynn Bowden. in the first. Remember, we talked about that many times.
I remember I made that joke where I was like, man, watch, they were probably doing coke together. And then I remember like thinking like, man, I shouldn't have said that. Henry would never do something like that. And then I'm like,
no, we talked about it, and we
Yeah.
said, what if Henry Ruggs was the problem? And I mean, I don't want to say like nobody could have predicted this, right?
We were just messing around. I mean, like a little bit, but yeah, exactly.
But draft picks, like to me, like people are already like, that draft was a bust, blah 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 blah. Like it was, and it factors in, but you couldn't predict this. You couldn't predict this at all.
No,
and like
no.
The roster now is hurting. I mean, I think Jackson comes on Monday.
No Beckham, huh?
I don't think so. Everybody that I've like talked to is the Raiders are kind of just gun shy on probably a bad time to say gun shy because of the Damon Arnett stuff yesterday, but that's kidding.
Yeah, he's not gun shy. Yeah.
No, yeah, he's not gun shy.
Gunslinger. Was that David Carr tweet real, by the way?
No.
God, that was good. That was
a lot
good.
of those fake tweets now.
That was good though. If it was.
Yeah, it wasn't. But they I think that you have like a situation where Deshaun Jackson comes in and you're going to miss Henry Ruggs. I'm not saying like you're going to replace a 24-year-old with a 34-year-old and get the same production.
Yeah.
However, Deshaun Jackson's averaging 29 yards a catch this year.
Mm-hmm.
He can do the same things that Henry Ruggs was doing last year, where he wasn't producing as much, but he was taking the top off the defense still. So they're gonna be okay there. I think their expectations are way too high on Zay Jones.
Oh God, yeah.
I hope he proves me wrong, but people are acting like this is like Zay Jones' show now. And
he's not a deep threat, even in his.
He plays the same position as Brian Edwards. So that's
that's what I'm saying. It's not even the same. It's not even fair to say he's the next Henry Ruggs because nobody in the building thinks he's the next Henry Ruggs. He just isn't. Henry Ruggs was drafted for his rare speed. That's what he was drafted for. He was drafted for that. Now, Deshaun Jackson doesn't quite have the same juice that he used to, but he can run routes better than he still has that route running ability to get open deep. And for me, like, I think they're blessed to have these next two opponents. I think they're blessed. I think they're blessed to go against. I mean, I don't think the Giants are bad as far as like their defense. I don't think their defense is terrible at all. But I do think that the Raiders without Henry Ruggs are still better than the Giants, right? I mean, that's fair to say. I think that's fair to say they're a better team than the Giants.
I would expect it to be a blowout personally, but I mean, the Chiefs played them pretty close, but the Chiefs aren't very good.
No, that was a bad Monday night game. Like that was both teams looked horrible in that game.
I'm to the point where I don't think the Chiefs are a good football team. Now they might come out and blow
they can still. I think a broken clock is right twice a day, and they still have that like holy shit, like they've scored 40. They can just do that. I feel like they can.
My thing is, I think that they could come and beat the shit out of the Raiders,
Absolutely.
But I don't think that the Chiefs are a good football team this year. Mm-hmm. I don't think they compare to Buffalo. I don't think they compare to the NFC teams. The NFC is stacked. The AFC is wide open. The NFC, you got the Rams, the Packers, the just team after team that is solid, and I think like that's Arizona, but I think like in the AFC you have a plethora of average football teams. The Bengals, like the Steelers are kind of okay, and you got the Ravens who every once in a while lay an egg. Then you got
Chargers are struggling.
The Chargers, they're not getting good quarterback play from Herbert, and I'm one of the biggest Herbert fans out there.
But here's the thing about Herbert. Let's just stay on him for a second. Justin Herbert, I was a hater on him coming out. I thought he was Jake Locker 2.0. It's documented on here. I understand he's not Jake Locker 2.0. He's clearly not a bust in this league. He's actually pretty good. Now, the thing is like, you ever notice he's that quarterback now? All the cool draft people are scared to criticize him. They're scared to because he flat out sucked in the Patriots game and flat out sucked in the Ravens game. And he
got outplayed by Mac Jones.
Yeah, and what draft guys will say, oh, who's this offensive coordinator? No. You can't crown this guy the next big thing and then not get certain guys get these protections. When Derek Carr lays one egg, like literally one egg, one bad game, people are like, oh God, they're talking about extending this guy. Oh man, he stinks. But like if Herbert has two bad games in a row, it's literally everybody else's fault except him. He's that guy right now. And it's so annoying. Like the Mina Kimes, the Nate Tices, all the cool draft NFL people, cool film analytics people, they will not say a bad thing about Justin Herbert.
Yeah, and it's a combo. Like they have some issues like on that team. However, you have a guy that has Austin Eckler, like an average offensive line, Keenan Allen.
Yeah, what don't they have on offense?
Mike Williams. I would guess like maybe they don't have a tight end. But
I think Jared Cook's
okay.
better than most tight ends in the league.
They even have that deep threat, Guyton or Guytree or whatever.
Jalen Guyton. So, Donald Parham is good. Donald Parham's solid too. He's not a bad.
They have a plethora of weapons. So I mean, my thing is that I can give credit where credit's due, and I would say so far this season, Derek Carr has played the best in the AFC West at quarterback, and that shouldn't even be a debate right now.
Absolutely.
And he laid an egg against Chicago, but if anybody's getting excuses, I bashed him obviously during and after that game, but you take a look at the tape later, and he didn't have a second to throw. It's no coincidence that the Raiders
couple awful drops like in that game.
They start running better, and all of a sudden, guess what? Derek Carr's playing good because you have to have a running game. You have to have a little bit of a running game.
That's the problem right now. What's
wrong with KC right now?
Mm-hmm.
They have no running game, so they're all everything is Mahomes has to make those magical plays.
Yeah,
and now the fans are mad at Mahomes because he's not making the magical plays, and defenses are turning the ball over. But you can't make Mahomes a pocket passer that just has good mechanics because it's not Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. Mahomes is you
have to allow him to play his game. And I think Herbert's in a sense the same way.
Yeah.
They're good when they're freelancing.
And exactly. That's the thing. It's the on schedule. You have to make the trains run on time. You know what I mean? You have to you can't just be pulling miracles. You can't play hero ball. I mean, even in 2016, Derek Carr was hero ball to an extent, right? His on schedule stuff was not nearly what it is now. That's why I think he's better now. The last 2 years, I would say better than he was in 2016. He was now. He did he have the heroic plays? No, he wasn't. But I think he's just a better down to down quarterback now. And I'd argue like other than Josh Allen, you could say Lamar Jackson, but sometimes Lamar Jackson, his bad is really bad.
That's true, and his bad is really bad. But I think that the same thing goes with Jackson that you were saying about Carr, where he has one bad game and all of a sudden he's a running back. You know,
no, it's fair. It's fair.
That's the
I like Lamar. I like Lamar. Yeah.
Josh Allen has laid a couple eggs this year, and he doesn't get the Lamar Jackson treatment that Lamar Jackson gets. But
no, but like I'm saying, is Derek Carr the best quarterback in the AFC right now? Is what I'm saying.
Like play on the field,
I'd say Allen's the only one better than him right now.
Yeah, I'd put him on the top 3 as far as so far this season.
That's just through the season right now. Yeah. Just right now, if you're playing a game this weekend, like which you are, he's probably in the top 3 in the AFC. I would say.
I would say so far, and I think that's what it scares me with the Raiders. And like I'm always so freaking like I just want to wait and see, And the problem is with like Mahomes and Herbert in the division, they could catch fire anytime, and you have they win 4, 5, 6 in a row. The Raiders, if they didn't have all this off the field shit, I would be going into this weekend feeling awfully good about this football team.
God, going into that bye week, I felt so good, man.
And I feel bad. I mean, like take away the Henry Ruggs shit, okay?
Yeah.
The Raiders are the healthiest they've been in 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I'm take away like the IR people, whatever, but like they're healthier. They're looking good. Healthier. They're healthier and getting healthier, and they're getting production out of young guys that they're taking the lead. So then everything's going good, and Henry Ruggs happens, and now it's like everybody's questioning whether the Raiders belong again. So they need to go out and wall up the Giants.
No, 100%. Like now, I said this on my solo one last time, was basically when these catastrophic events happen, and I'm considering Gruden and Henry Ruggs equally as catastrophic as far as what's happened, just shock value, like holy shit, you know what I mean? This is you have a 2-week span where you can shake that completely off. A 2-week span. Henry Ruggs is a bit different because he plays on the field. So like, you're not going to ever be able to replace his speed unless, they do get Deshaun Jackson, but you're not going to be able to replace his speed now. But if you can get rid of the shock value by winning these next 2 games, to me, like people want to blow out. Nah, just go win. Literally just go win these next 2 games. You're going to the East Coast. It's an early start. I know you're on coming off a bye week, but they're healthy. Waller is back. John Simpson apparently avoided a serious injury because he's been practicing. Jonathan Hankins is back. And you have a lot of these guys. I mean, now to me, the only thing this team really needs, the thing that, other than Henry Ruggs, let's just take that out of there because that's just going to be a thing, man. It's going to, even if Deshaun Jackson comes in, he gets hurt a lot. It's still, who knows? But Nicholas Morrow is what this team needs right now. More than anything is Nicholas Morrow, because Denzel Perryman is not good. I'm sorry to tell these people this. He sucks, dude. Like
he's a good player to have.
His flash plays are really cool. You're like, wow, that's really cool.
I think that Denzel Perryman is what they wanted Raekwon McMillan to be last year.
Sure.
You bring him in the sub packages on the goal line. He's a good tackler.
Yeah, but Morrow, dude, in coverage, they pick on him.
But they do need Morrow. I'm not sure that Morrow comes back.
I hope not. I hope he does. Like, but you don't hear anything about him. And
Javin White. There was some
White
news today. I heard something today, but
what's that?
There's whispers like and stuff that he's not, and him and Incognito might be. Incognito, there's whispers.
Incognito's no.
But I just don't see it. I know that Javin White is back, and then Mullen should be back against Cincinnati. But you know what, dude? It's like if you get Mullen, and then you have some depth at corner. You know, you got Brandon Faxion in there. You got Hayward Mullen playing good. Hobbs. Yeah. You know, Hobbs is one of the reasons why this defense is playing so good.
Stud. Absolute stud. I mean, you can't. He's made the PFF team, and like, you know, PFF is very strict, and their coverage grades are weird. But like, it's never a bad thing when they have you at the top of the coverage grades. And Nate Hobbs is there. Casey Hayward's there.
I saw some chart that he was like in the bottom of, and I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like,
I think it's tackling, which is weird. They have a
player.
Yeah, they have a bad tackling grade on him, which is weird. Like, because he makes some really fucking good tackles in games. But again, you know, you don't necessarily see some missed tackles. You see the big tackle. I get that. Whatever, that's fine. My corners need to cover. That's my main thing. You cover and you play the ball. But yeah, when that's
why I never minded Marcus Peters. Like, people didn't want him because he can't tackle and he can't play against the run. I'm like, he covers.
That's your job. Deion Sanders couldn't tackle or cover, or Deion Sanders could cover. He could run with you and cover. I mean, yeah, he gave you special team stuff too. But I'm just saying, like, your job as a corner is to cover. Your job as a defensive end is to rush the passer. If you can play the run, that's great. And definitely teams will run at you when you can't. But your job is you have like that main job. It's like your job as a point guard in the NBA now. You have to shoot the ball now. Like, you know what I mean? That's your job.
You can't be just a passer or you're Ricky Rubio.
Yeah, exactly. Because Ricky Rubio in 1978 runs the league. You're like, damn, dude.
He'd be John Stockton.
Yeah, Magic Johnson, just a beast. So like you'd have that.
It goes both ways. Like with in basketball now, basketball and football, it's just you have to have a quarterback like that is semi-mobile. Like I'm not talking about like everybody needs to run a 4.4 like Lamar Jackson, but like Derek Carr. When he's playing well, he's climbing the pocket. Yeah. He's mobile in the pocket. Brady, the least mobile quarterback like ever, is great in the pocket.
Oh, he's mobile in the pocket. Best ever.
But you didn't used to have to be that way. Like you used to be able to be, you know, Peyton Manning and just go back there, drop back and throw the ball. And it goes to a certain extent. Like Tom Brady is just a unicorn. But if Peyton Manning was coming out right now, would he be a top pick because he's stands in, I mean, he's good, but like if it was
a coach would fall in love with that brain, dude. A coach would fall in love with that brain,
right? Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like now people want the Kyler Murray, they want the Deshaun Watson, and they want the guys that can run and throw, and like that's kind of changing with the game. And I think that the Raiders, like, what one of the reasons why they're playing so good, and I want to focus on the field now, is like their draft picks this year. I mean, like. The draft, obviously, the 2020 draft, put it in the trash. It sucks.
We're horrible.
And I mean, everybody's really, really high on Bryan Edwards, and I get it, but he's not going to be a number one wide receiver.
No,
he's a solid number two that will flash sometimes,
which is fine as a third round pick. That's totally fine.
He dropped to the third for a reason.
Yeah. Well, injury. He's probably a second. I thought he was probably a second without the injuries.
Yeah, but the Raiders draft picks last year were all high upside guys. Nate Hobbs, Leatherwood, like they're all profiled as athletes, and that's the difference in my opinion. When Gruden first got there, their first first draft, second draft, third, he was taking like these like Gruden grinder guys, and this last year, maybe Mayock had more say this year. I don't know, but everybody they picked was high athletic upside, and that's what you have to do. That's the game's changing. You don't want those stiff Cleveland Farrells on the edge.
No,
you want the guys like Jason Owa that got drafted to the Ravens, where he had 0 sacks in college, but you know what? He's an athletic specimen.
Sure.
Like, and that's where I think the Raiders are starting to go a little bit more that way and becoming more modern than they used to be. So
yeah, you're gonna see. You're gonna like this year. I'm not done with Leatherwood. People are so done with Leatherwood. I'm not done with him. He's going to develop into at least a starting level offensive lineman. Right now, he kind of isn't. I know he's done a little bit better at guard, but it still looks bad. He's not playing left tackle like Christian Darrisaw is right now. He's not playing left tackle like Rashawn Slater is right now. So those guys are left tackles. So is Alex Leatherwood. He's a left tackle. So he's learning a position on the fly. Now, the problem with what they did with Leatherwood this year was that they gutted all the veterans around him. So if you're going to draft a rookie right tackle, why the fuck would you gut all the veteran experience around him? That's the problem. Now, if they had a veteran offensive line plus a rookie right tackle, I'm all in. I'm down. Let's do it. But then but here's the thing. They bring in Trayvon Merrick. He's been fantastic. Like, I'm seriously,
great.
He's been
he had
fantastic.
a couple rough weeks, like in the beginning. And it was like, but you notice with him that again, the traits are there. Like,
they don't give up big plays. That's literally the reason they don't give up big plays.
When he does give up a play, he's in the right spot. Mm-hmm. And that's the difference this year for the Raiders on defense is when they do give up a play, it's generally like, oh, damn, good play by LA. That's a good play design. Or like, hey, that's a good catch. Hey, there's freaking Allen Robinson wide open 45 yards down the field covered by Nick Kwiatkowski. So
that's why I like this matchup, because the only way the Giants beat you is when they hit some big plays, some home run plays. And the Raiders just simply have not been giving up home run big plays. Right. Like they haven't been giving up the big plays. That's part of that cover 3 scheme is you keep everything in front of you. I think if you make the Giants try to paper cut you to death, they'll paper cut themselves to death right across the throat.
They turn the ball over, and the Raiders are, I don't have the exact number, but I remember reading like that they're like turnover battle. Like when they turn the ball over 2 times in like the Gruden era, they're like 7-1 or something. Like they're really good when they turn the ball over or get turnovers. So I have, my life's a little weird right now. So I got 5 minutes. I got 5 minutes to ramble off here. So,
okay. No worries. Yeah. No worries. Yeah. So, they got to come out. They got to make the Giants make mistakes. People forget the Giants are banged up too. I saw Galladay's probably going to play, but Barkley's not going to play. I think we have Barkley
and they're not good.
No, they're not. And the Evan Ingram, like these guys, the Raiders match up really well against this team. They're healthy. They're going to have Bradbury on Darren Waller, which is crazy because I don't know if people saw it, that Bradbury was covering Travis Kelce all in that Monday night game. Did a nice job on Travis Kelce.
Edwards, this might be the week that Edwards
he has to. Him and Renfro have to just get it done, and they have to run the ball. That's the only thing I'm scared of with this Raider team is losing that wide receiver, is just leaning on this run game too hard when you lose that wide receiver. And I don't want them to just
what they're doing with Kenyon Drake now, though.
Right? Switching to power.
It seemed like power run. Didn't want to use him.
I don't. Yeah, but or just he wanted to say, "Oh, Kenyon Drake, you're going to run in my zone or offense." But Kenyon Drake is a power running scheme guy, and that's what they've been doing. He's looked great, and they throw to him on first down. I mean, that's how you beat the Giants. They don't have the linebackers to get you in the flat. They don't have those guys. So
I want to see a game where you get 10 Renfro targets. And we haven't had one in a while. I want Renfro to just be fed, dude. Like that guy catches everything. It's always like a 4 or 5 yard gain, no matter what. Like, just do it. Throw him the ball 10 times. Get Waller involved. I would like to see. They've been doing little screen passes to Jacobs that we haven't seen, and it's 25, 30 yards on every play.
Yeah. What do you think of this NFL Rumors account? NFL Rumors, is it good?
It just so okay. I mean. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I tweeted about the Deshaun Jackson thing 4 hours before Mike.
Okay, I was gonna say they have it down as like good to go. So you've said it. We're doing this.
I said Monday, which is probably the factual. He's deciding between 2 teams.
Okay.
So, and like I don't know the second team, but like based on what I'm hearing, I think it's the Niners.
Interesting. Yeah, I could see that. I think
the Niners is probably like more like Deshaun Jackson went to Cal. And then the Raiders are like, hey, you're going to play right away.
You're going to start. Yeah.
So,
you're going to start. Yeah. All right, man.
I think what that NFL Rumors account does is they take like something that is reported and then they guess. And then when they go, okay, you know what? Like they're meeting with Deshaun Jackson signed, or he's going to sign. Like, I mean, it's pretty like the writing's on the wall that he's going to sign with the Raiders.
Absolutely, which is good. So if you got to run, go ahead. No problem. I'll close out the rest of the show, man. So I'm only going to go for another couple minutes, but if you guys,
Yep. I figured, get on for a quick.
no, we're good. That's all we need to do. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to take
what's your score prediction?
I got I think it's gonna be a little lower scoring. I think I got a 24-10 Raiders win.
All right, I'm going bigger, 38-20.
Oh, you think they're just gonna run it up?
Yep.
Okay. All right, yeah, sure. That sounds good, man. Coming off the bye.
I think we got a Daniel Jones pick 6 coming.
They're gonna need a couple of those, couple sack fumbles, things like that. They're gonna be. You got the offensive line.
Crosby and Yannick domination. Nate Solder sucks.
So Andrew Thomas ain't ready yet. He's getting better, but he's not there yet. So yeah. That's
all right, brother.
All right, man. Have a good one. I'll close it out for us. Go ahead and take off. All right. So Raider Nation, we got to go get this win this weekend. We have to go take down the Giants. Winning cures it all. I've always said that for a long time, right? Everybody, I'm tired of the media on our ass. Winning cures it all, right? If you win, the story's not going to be about Henry Ruggs. It's going to be about the Raiders won after losing their head coach and their, deep threat home run hitting wide receiver that they took 12th overall the year before. Their first ever Las Vegas draft pick. The first ever Las Vegas draft pick that went out in the most Las Vegas way of all time, right? This is still a good football team. They've taken their lumps, but I think Rich Bisaccia would get a lot of credit. I've said it myself that Rich Bisaccia, if they're able to win these next couple of games, and if they make the playoffs, which if they do win the next couple of games, they are like, I guarantee you their percentage to make the playoffs will be like 85%. Like it'll be very high. If they do win these next couple of games, Rich Bisaccia is going to get the job. I mean, you can't not give it to him. Right at that point, whether you want him to or not, whether you want a better name, the guys like this guy, and if they were willing to rally around with blow after blow after blow, guys putting guns on the internet, guys killing people going 156 miles an hour, coaches getting fired for racist shit they said in the past. If he gets through all that, what's a normal year with Rich Bisaccia look like? Probably a lot better, right? So, if they come out and they lose this game, then the question is going to be like, hey, is Rich the guy? Is Rich the guy? That's fair. It's fair to say, but they can't lose this game, man. They cannot lose this game. They need to go out there, beat the Giants. If it's handily, I don't care. I just want them to win. They're a better team. Be better than that team. Okay. And then you go in 6-2 playing Kansas City Sunday Night Football. If that can happen, I feel really good about this team. I feel really good. All week it was tough to talk about this, man. 'Cause it's just like, all the little sports group chats I'm in, they're making fun of me. Oh, Glenn, man. Making fun of it and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, lay it on me because I'll make fun of somebody else's team when they do some dumb shit like that. Seems to be only us lately, but there's a lot of crazy stuff happening in the NFL right now. So that's it for me, guys. Let's go get this win. I'm Glen Rockney at Glen Rockney on Twitter. Have another podcast called Rare Candy. I'm about to record another episode right after this. Subscribe to the channel. This is RC Sports. This is going to be a sports only channel. I'll have another episode of RC Sports with Gnocchi Wizard. He came on to the second episode of RC Sports, I believe, and did a NFL. We're doing a midseason roundup kind of stuff, and then do some more stuff. Maybe bring Marcus Johnson on to do alpha beta rankings on quarterbacks. Do some fun things like that. I'm gonna cover some college football too. So yeah, that's it for me. Thanks for tuning in, guys, to the live stream. Everybody who watches after the fact. Appreciate you guys as well. Just make sure you subscribe, spread the word. If you like this show and you want other Raider fans to hear it or other sports fans to hear it, feel free to spread the word. All right. See you later, guys.